question closer to home is that recently there was a report out from UBS on the Australian banking sector labelling that the bank share prices here were in bubble territory. You guys look at banks from a global perspective rather than just an Australian captive. Have you got a view on that?
Of course.
There are just, I don't know about bubble territory, but there are simply more interesting banks to be owned elsewhere. So a holding we've had for a long time in our international fund and the Asia fund is Bangkok Bank. And here we have a bank that has a similarly, I guess, strong market position as our banks do here. It's an economy that is growing somewhat faster, where credit growth, there is good, strong credit growth now. It has been, the economy had been through a lull as a result of some of the political uncertainties. And this stock, it's trading on around 12 times earnings, about, 1.5 times book. And, I think those earnings can grow quite a bit faster than the underlying business simply because the balance sheet is overcapitalised. The loan deposit ratio is still quite low. So that to me, it's a stock that's done very well for us, but I think can continue to do well for us. We can talk about...
And how does that pricing compare to, say, the Australian banks in terms of talking price-to-book ratios and what have you?
But that's an astonishing thing. So it's growing fast and is as profitable, and it's half the valuation metric of price-to-book of, say, the Commonwealth, which is pretty interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So...
Not that we have anything against the Commonwealth, but we're just talking relative valuations of stocks.
So there's just much better opportunities elsewhere, and I think the banks here have had been through a pretty good cycle, and I think that there's more risks in those in terms of potential increase in credit costs through time from this point, but not particularly predicting that.
Even Bank of America, which is one of our largest holdings, is barely at book value now, and has a very interesting broking business. It has it's got $2 trillion of nominal assets and so on. I mean, these are huge banks, and by comparison, are much, much cheaper.
Yes.
It's got some work to do still, but most of that's behind it now.
Yes. Thanks for that. It's always interesting to get a global perspective of a local issue.